welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal. I am so glad you're here. Today we are going to be sharing with you basically how I do my wash and go. So if you're interested just to see how I came up or how I currently style my wash and go, how do I get it to look how it does, keep on watching. Right now, currently my hair has been shampooed and conditioned and deep conditioned. So let's just share with you how it looks. Normally I would not have it out like this, but for this video and for sharing, that is why it's out. But let's just share with you how we look. It has currently been shampooed, conditioned, and deep conditioned. Now, technically, I basically did it in sections. I even put in a leave-in. Right? So this is where we're at. Right here. Now the leave-in I use was Suave. You can actually use any type of leave-in moisturizer, if it helps. But I currently just use Suave. I use all kinds of leave-ins. So the leave-in is not what gets my hair to look a certain way, it's the technique. So we're going to share that with you today. Hopefully it helps you out and how you style your wash and go. Maybe gives you a few extra tips. But to get us started, so the most important thing is basically moisture, right? The thing that I believe helps me the most is how I deep condition. Basically the condition of my hair. It gets the moisture from deep conditioning. So you cannot overlook deep conditioning your hair. You're going to receive a lot of benefits if you stop and you just go ahead and do that step. So that's what I have learned. I reap the benefits. The type of deep conditioner that I use, I will leave it in for a good hour or two, right? But it's the deep conditioner. If you're interested in the products of how I shampoo and condition, maybe we'll do that in another video, but the most important thing is, how do you have a good wash and go? Your hair has to be in a good state. So how does it be in a good state? It has to be already moisturized and ready to go. But let's talk about the products that we are going to use in this wash and go. My hair is currently finger detangled, right? So I might get a few detangles out as we go. And it's just ready to go. Normally I would have it in sections after I wash it, and I will go ahead and do one section at a time and go ahead and just apply the product. That is the easiest way, and it's because when you're doing a wash and go, your hair, you want it to basically use as much water as possible. The more water, the better your wash and go is going to look. At least that is how I like mine. The more water, the better my wash and go tends to look. So I use a lot of water. It helps if my hair is already in that state. So after I rinse out the deep conditioner, I usually don't dry it off. Actually, right from that point, I don't even wring it out. I'll actually just start taking out section by section and start putting in my product. Because it's in that state, the deep conditioner will make it in such a state that it's really easy to put the product in. And it makes it really easy to style, basically to do that wash and go. It's how you deep condition. So that's very important. So if anything, if you're wondering, okay, what is a tip to help me with my wash and goes? It's maybe start doing a deep condition, basically a deep conditioning treatment to your hair. And right after you do that, rinse it out, leave your hair wet, and go ahead and start putting in that product. That is the tip that I would give, and see how that goes. But let's talk about the product that we are going to use to style my wash and go. So the product that I'm going to use, I actually use 3 at the moment. You don't have to use 3. There's so many videos on wash and goes and so many products that work really well. It's going to be based on your hair type. It depends on what your hair likes. This is what I currently do. So I have 3 different products. So remember, you might find other products. It's not about the product, it's about the technique. So I would actually take note of the technique and maybe try some of the products that you have in your home because it may be all you need. But the first product that I currently am I going to be basically using is the Caraveda, right? Caraveda. And this is the Pure HD, and it's the styling gel. This by itself, this is a soft gel, which means it has a soft hold. By itself, it looks really great. It defines my hair. It has the great amount, basically the perfect amount of moisture, but my hair, it does not hold it. So I actually need to add something on top of it. I cannot use this by itself. But I like it because it gives a lot of moisture. You do not need to use this. Um, be careful when you're watching videos. You know, you don't want to be having an unction or you feeling like buying products, but if it helps you out, great. But Caraveda, I really like it because it basically brings a lot of moisture to my hair. My favorite, if I had a gel that I couldn't, that I was like, okay, well, I don't want to switch this one out, it would be this one. I would keep this one. If I was forced to switch some of them out, I would not switch this one. But it's basically the Uncle Funky's daughter, Curly Magic. It's the curl stimulator. So here's this. You can get this at Target, right? And it's the Uncle Funky's daughter. But Target has this gel. I really like this gel. It provides another soft hold, but it's really good for your hair. It's really good. It does not have minerals, oils, paraben, sulfates. So there's a lot of things that it doesn't have, but the one thing, the main ingredient is aloe. So I really like this. It's really good for your hair. Now, it's still a soft hold. If I want my wash and go to really last, what I end up using to add on to it, I just kind of put it on the top, right? But it's just to basically last longer, to give it a harder hold. But if you mix it with those, that's how I get the hold that I want. It depends on what I'm looking for that day, right? So if you're looking for a soft gel, you may not have to do the Eco Styling Gel, but I like the Eco Styling Gel. It's Echo? But I think it's Eco, right? But right here, they got all kinds of brands. I would not use this by itself. That's the key. This does not moisturize. This by itself is too much. It's too hard. But if you use it with a good gel, a soft gel, basically a moisturizing gel. If I can get it to focus, right? If you use it with a good soft gel, right? It's actually really good because it gives you just the right amount of hold. So that's why I like it. Now remember, it's not technically about the products, it's about the technique. So maybe just by you watching today and you just watching some of the ways of how I apply these products, right? It's how you apply it. It might help you apply what you have in a way to where you have better results with your wash and go. So if you're interested in seeing how I apply the product to basically receive the results that I get with my wash and go, the most important ingredient is water for me. So there's so many products that I can probably use and get really good results. It's how I apply the product. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Now remember, my hair normally, right, I would not have it all out like this. I would actually have it in sections. So this is a little different from me, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So just watch. You're going to see me apply them in the order that I shared with you. And what you'll notice is I'm going to apply it in sections. You're going to see that I'm using a lot of water. So let's just do a section together. So I'm going to start with this section right here. Right? So we're going to do a section together. And what we're going to do is we're going to put half of this up. So let's do that. Let's put half of this up. So I'm going to grab me a ponytail holder. And I'm going to put some of this out of the way. And I'm going to start with the bottom and work my way up for today. So I'm going to just put this up out of the way, right? And we're going to do this little section right here. Now remember, I already finger detangled. There's a lot of things that come into play. So you get your little towel. The key thing is you're not looking at the product. It's about the technique. But you can't be, you want to put and make sure you're applying enough product. Otherwise, you may not get the results you need. So it's pretty much detangled. My hair likes to tangle back up around itself. So I kind of like to take a moment before I get started. Make sure it's detangled. Now one thing is, it's not as wet as it normally is. So I'm going to start off, I have a spray bottle right here. And I'm going to spray this little section. How wet do you want it? You should be able to hear the product when you go like this. You should be able to hear it. Hear the water, I should say, because I don't have any gel in there yet. When you kind of squeeze your hair. So I want to get a good amount of water to start out, right? And I want to make sure I do from root to tip, right? If your hair's already wet, you may not have to do this. Now, if I already washed it and I rinsed out my deep conditioner, I wouldn't have to use as much water. Alright, I wouldn't have to use as much. Alright. So, it is now ready. I'm going to grab my first product, my Caraveda, the gel. I think I like it so much because one, it does have aloe in it as well. So that's probably why I like it. I really like aloe. But aloe is very moisturizing. It provides a good base. So I'm going to put that on. And I just do enough because remember I got 3 of them. The one I use the most of is the Uncle Funky. So I got that on. Right? Let's put a little bit more on real quick. But it's very, very watering. You kind of gotta put on there what's good for you, but I do use a good amount. I never worry about how much product I'm using. If I have the best wash and go, or if my wash and go turns out really nice, it's because I use that product. But as you can see, it has a lot of moisture in that gel. So it's ready. Now I'm going to do the Uncle Funky's on top of that. And I use a good amount. I just did about 10 pumps. Again, I use a lot of product. And I'm going to do that from root down to the tip. You can't forget your roots because then they become puffy. I love my wash and goes to be very defined. So this helps them to be defined. Alright, let's do one more pump. And if you look at this. You see how wet that is? I am using a lot of product. The whole thing is I'm making sure it's highly coated. This is why, this is basically why, you want to make sure you're coating it, and it has to have the right amount of product. So, but if you look, it's very defined, but it's very wet because I used a lot. But it's also because of the water. You want your hair to have a certain look to it, depending on what you're going for. All right, so now, so I can get a better hold, I'm going to take some of my Eco gel, or Eco, excuse me, and I'm going to put that on here. I'm going to make sure I get my roots. And I'm just going to kind of put it on there. And I just do, put my face out of there. I just do a little bit. But again, and I'm just coating it on the outside, putting it on my roots. I'm not worried about how much I put. You never have too much, because if you put that, if this is like the third, it's not going to be your hair is not going to be too crunchy. You're going to have that in between. So that little section, there we go. You see that? So hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to, because I got my hair is drying in the afro back here. But let's keep going, all right? And I'm going to do the same to this top section right here. It is very dry. If you see the difference, I really need to help myself and add a lot of water before we get started. You want to make sure you get you a good spray bottle. I like the kind where it comes out in a mist, because it helps to basically evenly distribute the water. But notice how I am doing a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I would even go under the faucet and grab some of my hand and just put it right there. That's how wet I would want my hair. But let's keep going. So we're going to do one more section. Notice how I can't really hear the water as much. But as I start putting on my gels and stuff like that, it'll make a huge difference. The most important thing is you want to be considerate of these roots as you get higher and higher. Because the roots is going to make the style. If you don't put enough on your roots, your wash and go, it's not going to look how you want it. Alright, so this is a lot wet. This is basically better to get started with. So I'm going to get started. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. Let's see if we can do it in sections. I got a little bit of a tangle here. I'll just get that out real quick. Alright. Get that out. All right. This is where it would be so great if you had a clip, but I'm just going to put it right there. But I got a little section right here. I'm going to start with my Caraveda. Put put that on it. In fact, we're going to do that to this whole little section. So I got my Ayurveda right there. I'm going to break this up a little bit. Alright, put some on that little section. That way we'll get this whole section going on. And now let's put some on the top section. And you just want to coat it. If you think, oh, did I get enough? I will put a little bit more. That's how you know for a fact. And then you can just grab your whole section together. Alright, so this is the start. See there? Now I'm ready for the Uncle Funky. So I'm going to do the same thing. I probably don't even have to break it up as small as sections. But we're going to go ahead and do that just to make sure I get each one. Alright. I'm probably putting about 4 pumps on each one. And we're going to do at the top. Alright. See that? I'm probably going to add one more pump. That was my Uncle Funky's. I'm focusing on my roots because I know I have plenty. So I'm just focusing on those roots. Smoothing it down. Now I'm ready for my Eco Styler Gel. Now the Eco is how I get it to look a certain way. See, I already parted my hair of how I want it. You want to part yours how you want it. And I'm going to focus on these edges. Right? My roots. I want them to look smooth. Right, so we are focusing on, see that? And I'm going to grab it, because remember my whole key, the reason I'm using this one, is just so I get a better hold. So I'm just going to kind of do my best to mix that in. Grab me a little bit more. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I had a few. There we go. All right. And I'm going gonna go ahead and do the rest of my hair the same way. You see that? See the difference? Look at this. Look at the difference. I like a lot of definition. So I will be right back. All right, I am back and my whole head is done. So this is what it looks like. I'm about to dry this, right? But this is what we're looking like. I use tons and tons of water. That's the technique, is water. Make sure your hair is detangled too. You gotta make sure your roots are detangled. If your hair is not detangled, it's not gonna be how you want it. But this is how we're looking so far, right? So this is what we're looking like, right? The grayness, all that good stuff, that goes away. But here we are on this side. So there we are. Here is a close-up. Basically, if you can obtain this, this is my curl pattern, right? So the product did not do this to my hair. This is my curl pattern. It's all about keeping your hair as healthy as possible. And then the product helps enhances what you already have. So this is me with the product. The key thing that I have to do now is, actually, I'm pretty much done if I want to, but because of all the product that I use, it would take forever to dry, and it is probably about, what, 7:26 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and blow dry this. How am I going to blow dry it? I'm just going to blow dry it on high heat, just as it is right here, right? So I'm going to blow dry this because it would take forever because of all the product that I use, because this is what I like my hair to look like. It's very important. But this is where we're at. And what I'll do is I will come back with it all dry. So I will be definitely back and show you guys the result. Hi. Okay, so we are back. This is my wash and go completely dried. Well, that's about 85%. So let me just share with you what we're looking like here. This is about 85% dry. So 85% dry. All right. All right, so hopefully that helped. Hopefully you were able to find something out of this video to help you out, and maybe it can help you with your wash and go. But if you have any questions, let me know. Put your questions below. What works for you? Put it below. What are some of the products? What are your favorite products? Go ahead and put them below. But I want to thank you so much for watching. Definitely appreciate you guys. And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. But thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. See ya.